All right.
All right.
Welcome to episode, I believe it's number 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is 3.
It feels right.
Episode number 3 of the VRYAP podcast. We got some sick news coming in on this one. Some really cool shit happening. Some stuff that is a little outrageous, but you know, we'll get there in natural Apple fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I mean shit, let's just get right into it. Apple. You want to record in of what I forget what the name specifically is, but in a VR format, it's stereoscopic.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, spatial is what they've been like running the whole
True.
thing on, but I don't think that's what they're calling for this thing. I think it's
Yeah.
something else. We're
gonna call it spatial video just
it
for
might be spatial, but yeah. That's what they've been calling everything.
yeah. So you want to do that? Well, you're gonna need to give Apple $30K. Well, no, not actually Apple. It's just in partnership with Apple, but this is a Blackmagic camera, which in the realms of filmmaking, DaVinci, Blackmagic are pretty big leaders in that category. I use DaVinci to edit this podcast even. So, I mean it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The Blackmagic cameras. My old coworker's sister uses one of their, like, I think it's called like the Red Dragon or something. It has a crazy name. But they use that, and it was I think it was like a $10,000-$20,000 camera. So it's serious business. I mean, they are you make some content for us, and this content's gonna be elite. Because I was watching
It
a
looked
video.
like expensive equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all the bells and whistles that you can think of that you would want on a $30,000 camera. So, I mean, I'm excited. This is obviously not a consumer product in the slightest bit.
No.
So
Very niche market for that.
Yeah. So maybe we get that partnership with Meta and
James Cameron.
Yeah.
And Meta. Yeah.
I know James Cameron's got $30K laying around.
Right.
He's got some money. So maybe we
probably
see
developed his own technology too, though. We'll see. Right.
Hey, that's my boy James Cameron. He can't do no wrong in my eyes. Oh man, I can't wait for the third Avatar. Have you seen the poster for it yet?
Yeah, it looks sick. Yeah, I'm excited.
The volcano people. Oh, I can't. Oh.
Speaking of Avatar, they have a VR mod for the new game. I just saw it came out from Luke Ross.
For the flat to VR guys?
Yeah, flat to VR, yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Dude, that game should have never not been VR. That from the ground up, it should have been VR.
Right.
Like,
I might buy it now. I haven't bought it yet. But I've been thinking about it for a while.
I mean, now's a great.
Now there's VR.
Yeah.
Run it.
I wish I had like a PC VR headset, like a dedicated, so get lossless PC VR, which would be pretty dope.
Right.
But speaking of lossless PC VR, we had a new headset come out from
a good segue.
A company that has not, had the best track record. We got the Vive Focus Vision. Now, on paper, seems pretty cool until you get to two places. It's a standalone headset, and they're running the XR2 chip. Not the XR2 Gen 2, not the XR2 Gen 2 Plus, last gen XR2, which I again, I said it when it first was announced.
Right.
Like,
I mean, as a standalone, yeah, it's you. But I could see the use case of bypassing that as a PC VR user.
Oh, for sure.
But then we got point number 2 that it lacks, which you can't get over that with PC VR.
Fresnel lenses. What are we doing? It is 2024. What was 2025?
Right, they're using Quest 2 lenses in that thing, right?
What are we? I mean, I don't like. And I don't know. I don't know why that's the hang up, right? Like,
Well, like I said, for me, it's you can bypass that chip running it with your heads with your rig, right? As
yeah,
long as you have a decent rig, who cares what that chip is, really, right?
absolutely.
But it doesn't work for that way for those lenses. Right?
No,
You're
yeah,
still governed by those lenses.
you can give me a Xenon processor.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I'm going straight to the
Right.
PC.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
don't know. The Fresnel lenses
So that's the bigger
is
hang up for me.
and I've been watching like some reviews because I'm genuinely curious. And also we may even have
And
touch.
the OLEDs are out, right? Micro OLEDs. There's
Yeah,
many other ways that could have gone
absolutely.
than
And
Fresnel lenses.
even
Right.
if you did, we just stuck with LCD, which is fine. The Quest 3 still uses LCD, whatever. It's not that big
Right.
of a
Right.
deal. But like you
Mm-hmm.
gotta have pancake. That's just
Right.
bottom
You got to
line.
at least have pancake.
You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
have pancake lenses. I mean, like, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you want to do aspheric lenses. It's a chunkier headset. You can use aspheric lenses. They're heavier. They have a bigger field or a bigger sweet spot. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a trade off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are a little more expensive, but either way, like, it's still a $1,000 headset. I would have been okay with like $1,200 and give me pancake lenses.
Right. Right.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They Vive consistently
It doesn't justify. Yeah.
has
The
they have
cost doesn't justify what it came with here.
no,
I mean,
for sure not. No.
and rings too. The controllers, they have rings on those things.
I
Like
don't
we're at an age we're beyond rings, right?
yeah.
And they
And
came out with rings as well, right? It's another
Deckard is rumored that we had the controller leak. I'm not sure if you've seen those.
right. Roy, yeah.
Ringless.
Mm-hmm.
They're ringless.
Ringless, yeah. Right. Mm-hmm.
Like even the Pico, the next Pico, I think got leaked.
Our other
Also
new,
ringless.
yeah, the Pico Dream,
Yeah.
also ringless. Yep.
They,
Yep. That's where we're heading these days.
I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Right. Some
They
choices
have,
were made, Some choices were made on that
and
thing.
it's not even like oopsie at this point. You know what I mean? Because they consistently
Right.
do it. It's habitually.
Right.
It's a habitual issue that
The only thing they have for that headset is the integrated with the tracking they have, right?
Yeah.
The IO trackers. You're supposed to like look down to calibrate or whatnot, right?
Oh no, this
That thing.
on the Pico. Because that's
That's the
Picos.
Pico, right? Yes,
Yeah, those Picos.
Right. That's great. Yeah,
Which is a great idea. I mean, we said in the last podcast that
Right.
that's the best. I think that is the technology moving forward.
Mhm.
IMU plus some sort of
Right.
sight. I think
Those X caps, I think, are
Yeah.
the camera plus IMU. That's the way to go here.
with the Quest Pro controllers,
Mm-hmm.
they did it.
Right. Yeah.
Break them sons of bitches down,
Mhm.
reverse engineer, somebody make it happen. We're gonna get later about like
Right.
some technology that we want to see in the future, but they just I don't know who at the higher ups needs to be fired or put down to janitor duty or like because but
Put
somebody
some through their focus group or something here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I just
I don't know how these decisions were made here,
because they're so close.
but some were made for sure.
They're so
Right.
close. Like with the ultimate trackers,
Mhm.
they're so close. That's the right
They're getting
idea.
there with those. Yeah.
But like
Absolutely. Yeah.
implementation, who wants to sit around, do
Right.
this, turn, stand up, do the same thing over again, and then have it not work again? And if you have a dedicated play
Repeat.
space that's like smooth, it doesn't like to work.
Mm-hmm.
I just and now I
Right.
granted the Focus Vision has the IR flood thing, the IR flood in the sensor to help with low light hand
Right.
tracking.
Yeah.
But I think it also takes
Yeah,
place
yeah.
of the Vive trackers, so you don't have to do the stupid ass
Mm-hmm.
calibration thing on
Right.
those.
Yeah.
So in
That'd be helpful.
combination,
Yeah.
but Touch is supposed to get the Focus Vision. So
Mm-hmm.
when he gets it, we may have him on, get his firsthand experience. Because it does have eye tracking.
Mhm.
That's the
Right,
one.
right.
That's the one thing that
You're
it
right.
has
It's got eye
is eye
tracking.
tracking.
Yeah, that is a plus. Yeah. Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't think it makes up for
Still not enough these days.
Yeah. the rest of it.
It's not enough for the
No.
lenses.
And so next up, we have some pretty substantial news. Android XR. Out of
Yep.
I mean, I guess not really out of nowhere. We always knew that Google was, they were working on
They
it.
were coming back. We knew
Yeah.
they were coming back. Yep.
But
especially when Meta stopped using the Android platform after coming out with their own, right? Like when you were
it's still still kind of Android. Like it says, it's got Meta on the sticker, but it's
yeah.
But what's funny is I was watching somebody
It's
talk
definitely
about
built
it,
on Android.
and Meta or Google didn't mention Meta once. Not like Meta use our operating system in the past. It's got a great track record. We're doing our own thing now.
Right.
Nothing. Didn't not a word, which is hilarious.
Right. Interesting.
But
yeah. Right.
this kind of takes away what Meta was going to, and what I thought was a good idea for Meta was just make a great operating system. Be the Windows.
This is what Meta has been trying to be.
Yeah.
They've been trying to. That's why they came out with their operating system, right? So it's a terrible time for them, right? For Android to be entering the market here.
Terrible.
As they didn't quite get the foothold that they wanted, right?
No, but anytime major companies get in a war, who wins? Us.
The consumer usually.
The consumer wins. So, what headsets do we have? We have HTC.
Help expand the market. Right?
Yeah. Well, wasn't Sony? Well, Sony now is partnering with
Samsung. Was coming out with Android, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm bouncing around, but yeah, Samsung. That headset's supposed to come out, and that headset looks pretty cool if it delivers on what they were talking about.
Right.
Will it happen? Will this be, a HoloLens situation for Microsoft, and they're like, hey, this thing is really cool,
quietly
but
kill it after a while.
So who really knows? I think the landscape looks better when you have platforms and then let companies design hardware.
Right. Yeah.
Because when you're looking at, let's say, the big screen beyond, they don't have to worry about software. They don't have to be like infrastructure programmers, in a sense. Like obviously there's algorithms and stuff that go into all that and how it makes it work, but they're not making an operating system. They're not making sure that the system on a base level is running, because that's not their job. They say, hey, Steam, take care of that.
Take it. Steam's already got that. Let's stay in your lane and we'll stay in ours.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I know that's kind of a new thing with standalone, because like everybody is kind of having to do their own thing, right? Because we don't have that golden standard.
Is kind of a different thing than like building into like the already existing ecosystem, like Steam, right? When you rely on something that's already already existing, right?
Yeah.
It's already kind of built in for you, right?
Yeah, and it's it's like the old days of phones.
The hardware, right?
Yeah. So when phones, you know what I mean? Like you had the T-Mobile Sidekick, LG Chocolate, the Razr. You know what I mean? You had all these, but they all had like similar operating systems, but they were all different. But it was an exciting time in phones, but I won't get there. I'm a big phone nerd, but we won't talk about that. But that was the most exciting time, is when people were playing around with form factor comparatively to software.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So if we can get that baseline of software, then we have designers that can develop cool looking headsets, unique headsets,
right. And I think form factor is really the key. Right, exactly. Yeah. I think form factor is the key to driving, growing this market. I think the smaller that headset gets, the more people are willing to put it on, and the longer they're willing to have it on, right?
Yeah. And I think
from
there's
that,
always
right, what's stopping people from working in VR now too, right, is the form factor and weight of a headset, right?
Yeah, I'm not putting
So
this
the
thing on to
smaller they can
work.
shrink that down. Right, yeah, all day, no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah. Yep, not yet.
No, and I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit, doesn't matter. It's I mean, the what is it? OpenXR, right? Like that's supposed to be the
Mhm.
the gold standard. Was
Right,
it
right.
Google? I think just announced that they're also now supporting OpenXR. So,
Yep, yep, yep.
eventually we'll
Everyone
get there,
supports OpenXR essentially,
right?
right?
Well, not
Yeah,
Apple.
yeah, yeah.
Let's not Apple.
Right.
But they were never going to.
I've already
Nobody
seen
nobody
Android
thought that they
XR
were.
stuff. Right. I've seen Android XR stuff already built into Unity now
Oh, no shit.
as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some options
Nice.
in the build
Okay.
settings now.
Wow.
So it's
Okay.
already getting incorporated. Yeah, yeah.
Already.
Already,
That's
yeah, yeah. Just happened the other week.
that's pretty cool. I'm not even mad at that. Except for the fact, that's Unity and not Unreal Engine, but that's neither here nor there. But while we're in VR chat right now, let's talk about one of the greatest things that they've came up with in a while. Age
Right. It's
verification.
been long
Yes.
wanted feature for sure. Yeah.
Like, we've been around to some events. You always have to, ID verify in the Discord, this, that, and the third. And it's always a headache. It's always a
Right, right.
hassle. Anytime there's an event, if it's
You
a new
gotta do
event
it
you haven't been
across
to,
right. Do it to multiple servers. Yep, yep. Yeah.
it's a headache. And VR chat said, why don't we just handle that? And they did. And it's great. The process was actually easier than any other process I've done before.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. You don't have to write a date on the paper with the with your license and
Scan
hiding
the driver.
information. And,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Scan the driver's license.
Yeah. It's a
Look at your
smooth
face.
process. They're not keeping the information for long, and they're encrypting what they do keep. It's great.
Yeah. Wonderful change. Wonderful change. Especially, I think this is the perfect time for it to roll out as well, with the holidays coming around.
Right, right.
Because we're gonna get an influx of Quest 3S users, maybe some Quest 3s.
Absolutely, yeah,
obviously. But we're getting some
Happens
Quest 3S.
yeah.
So holiday time is the there's everything is getting filled. The Black Cat is gonna be wild.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was great. I'm a big fan of that. That was long time needed. They also came out with their little little update thing, like series, right? They're like devlog, and there was a lot of cool stuff in there.
Dev updates, yeah.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, I truly cannot remember really anything other than age verification, because that was like the crowning one.
That was the biggest one, absolutely. Yeah,
but there were some things I remember.
The prints were a neat feature there, right? The prints was a new one, and being able to share those, right?
That was really cool.
Gift drops,
so basically, for people that don't know, or not in VR chat a lot, there's like a Polaroid in VR chat now, so you can take a picture, and it prints out a little Polaroid. You take it, and it has information on it, like when it was taken, where it was taken, and then I think you can write on the back.
It's only VR chat plus subscribers can do that, but we can give it to non-subs there as well. For distinction.
So,
but you should sub to VR chat to support them anyway, right?
Absolutely,
it helps the game.
If you can, do it. It helps us all in the long run. That's how we got to age verification. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Anything.
These things cost money to implement.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I bet you this ain't cheap. All righty. So we had some drop today, which this was not even on the radar. And
right.
We've discussed it. I think everyone knows that I'm in the market for a new.
I feel like this should be a new headset, and I feel like this should be a top contender all of a sudden here.
So we have Pimax, the company that loves to introduce things when they still have things that aren't produced yet. the overzealous VR company Pimax released on their Frontier event today the Pimax Dream Air.
Dream Air.
And it was a funny presentation because it opened up with a comparison to Apple.
If it has a very Vision Pro look to it, right? Aside from the telltale Pimax V on the front, which in my opinion looked really cool anyway. Right? The V
I can't hate on it. I can't. They stick to their brand.
Very Vision
and I love
Pro
that
look,
for them. Yeah, no,
right.
It's a Vision. It's a Vision Pro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that. That's what it is. All right, let me go ahead and copy this real quick. But I'm in the market for a small headset.
No,
and
it's a very small form factor, under 200 grams, right?
Yep.
That's decent.
Let me post this B in here.
Micro OLED lenses, right?
Yep. Paste. So I'm gonna skip around a little bit in this video. So I guess I gotta turn the sound back on.
Let's look at other industries.
So this is what I thought was hilarious.
Movies either too dissimilar from wearing a light helmet or headset, or bad or light and small sets out there. But we still with high performance.
Oh, I can't find it. Oh, right here. This right here cracked me up because guys, calm down. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know, you got some lofty goals, and I respect it. I respect it. I can't lie. But we need to chill, okay? But I did like what the comparison made sense, right? He said you have the MacBook Pro for people that want to go all in, portable. It's a portable iMac basically, because the new MacBook Pros are insane, right? But maybe you don't want to do all that. Maybe you just want a computer, daily task. It's lightweight, still powerful. They have the MacBook Air. Now you start to get into the naming convention of the new headset.
Right,
And then,
I see where they're going with it.
Oh, for sure.
The point is,
now, if I
it should be shipping about the same time as the Crystal Pimax ships too, right?
Yes.
Even though they're starting pre-sale for both now.
The Pimax Dream Air embodies our
it's
the world's smallest full-feature.
I kind of want to pre-order it. I'm not gonna lie, because
I'm still waiting for the Deckard here.
Okay.
I think we'll have some news on that soon.
We should. We definitely should. Everybody's kind of gearing up for that kind of like. We're getting pretty excited.
I like the front of this thing.
I do too.
It's a nice, sleek-looking headset. It's a nice form factor, right? I was turned off until the puck there. Capability of being able to do it wireless, because I don't like being plugged in.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm a plug-in guy. I want lossless.
You can't hold me down.
That's hey.
I get that.
And that's why there's options. That's why we have options.
Right.
And I wish I could find where they had like some specs on like other headsets in this kind of like weight class essentially. And it was so like obvious which ones they were. And I was like, you could have just put the names on there. You know what I mean? Like, you're not really.
Yeah, it's a comparison.
You're not hiding much, brother. It was the immersed visored and the big screen beyond. Like that's what they were comparing. It wasn't even close. Like that
is their market, right? Yeah.
Which there's not very many headsets in this category.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Now the one thing that, but look at that right there.
I like their comparison to Diet Coke too, right? Like I think that's how it started when they first, right?
And one of the craziest things is that must be the prototype, yeah? Because it didn't dawn on me because all of these have been renders.
It's smaller and less than half.
Right. Yeah, that must be the prototype right there. Yeah.
Now, that could be a 3D printed prototype just for the show.
It does look a bit, yeah. does look like it could be 3D printed. It's a little rough on the corner of the bevel there.
A little bit. But I think if it comes out anything like that, I think we're in a good spot.
No, yeah. It's looking closer and closer to Ready Player One headsets. So I was thinking, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That narrow, slim form factor.
Yeah.
Right?
What's his name? Wade's headset in the very beginning when he first puts it on. The little small white one with the stickers. Yeah. So, I mean, I would love to be able to put that on and just jump right in. You know what I mean? It's got USB Type-C DisplayPort. Or no, they have their DisplayPort like module thingy or whatever. They have like their own or something.
But it is USB-C too, I think they did say.
So the one thing I thought was like, you're not doing that. The self-adjusting head strap. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Right, yeah.
You're not.
I wonder
shut
how that
up.
works.
We're not. Stop. Just stop. Like, this is what I'm talking about when they have like really lofty goals. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
I respect them for shooting for the moon, and they do every time. What's funny is do you remember the old guy that used to do these?
And ultra low weight to make you forget.
The long-haired guy.
Yeah.
He got
yeah. What happened? Yeah.
There's a guy, MRTV, does a lot of headset reviews. That guy was on his stream.
The strap is strong,
They got a little loose, you know, they were having some drinks. He was saying some crazy stuff, honestly. He was getting into the weeds. My man was feeling it. And I don't think I remember seeing him after that. So I don't know if they were like, yeah, no, but I'm gonna
change it up here.
I'm gonna need you to clock out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I mean,
I like Pimax that this is what they focus on. This is like their sole product is VR headsets, right? Like unlike Samsung, right? Unlike some of the other headsets in the field. This is all HTC makes other things too, right?
There we go. Look at this.
Oh yeah, option A, option B, option C. Yeah.
So you have big screen beyond, immersive visor. The 600-gram one, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's like the Quest 3 or something, right?
Well, it can't be. Well, maybe it is. That's not the resolution for the Quest 3.
No, Quest Pro maybe? It could be the Quest Pro.
But didn't the Quest 3
Is that the resolution for the Quest Pro?
I thought the Quest 3 had better resolution.
Right. Well, I'm seeing eye tracking because Quest 3 doesn't have eye tracking, right?
Yeah.
It's not the Quest 3.
It could.
Maybe the Vision, the Vive Focus. What's the weight on that?
Maybe. Well, no, they would have put it on there though.
Or Apple.
No.
Right? Was that the?
No, you are correct. You're right. I think. I think that's the Focus Vision.
Yeah. That would make sense to put up there, especially with the no DisplayPort connection, right?
Because it technically doesn't.
It's standalone, yeah.
But it does have there's a little module that you plug into that plugs into this thing and then goes into the back of the computer because HTC likes to do shit.
Right. Yeah.
So that could, but it's like this looks all good and well, right? Like on paper, you're like, oh, this is a home run, but we'll see. They still haven't released the Crystal Super yet, so
right.
That ships, I think, a month before. Maybe 2 months before this is supposed to ship?
I think they both ship around May, right? I thought they said they both ship around the same time.
I think it may be March for the Super, and then May for this one. I don't remember. It's close. It's around a similar date. But then, this is the thing that you are most excited about. Oh, here we go. So April for the Super with the changeable lens module.
May. I do like that. It's neat. Yeah.
It's neat, but why?
Right. I don't. Yeah. The more I think about it, the less I have a use case for it.
Yeah. Right? It's the complexity. You're adding complexity for
neat,
no reason.
But I mean, it's one of those things. It's cool to do, but do you have to do it?
especially for a company that isn't known for shipping.
I'm not sure.
You know, for like, you know, like coming through and bringing it to market fully.
Right.
And it's like, why are we adding?
Fair. Yeah.
Just hone in on your skills. Like the
Right.
Dream Air, to me, that's a hone in on the skills. That's
right. That's
because it's the same lens setup as the Crystal. They just moved it over and then shrunk the housing.
Mm-hmm.
So that to me makes the most sense. It's because, hey, we're focusing, we're streamlining, we're cutting the fat, except for this damn, you know, self-adjusting headset, which still
right. But it field of view in the Dream Air was like 105. What was the field of view in the Super is like 120? Yeah, 105. Yeah, at least I saw that somewhere. Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great.
Maybe
it's
on
like
that
Quest
little
3.
graphics they show.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think Quest 3 is about 105. Or
but like the
110.
Super is like 120.
120
plus, right?
Yeah.
Is it 120? Yeah.
So, you know,
it's high end versus, you know, totally different use cases for them, really.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's like that's a simmer's dream. I've seen a lot of like sim racing people like review it, and that's the one that they go for.
Microsoft Flight Sim and that thing. Absolutely. Yeah.
Opening up the orders for both.
And then
you can get through the server. That is right.
The 60 gig Airlink thing, that'll be for you, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
which
only for Pimax Crystal for now.
Dream Air is made for portability.
Now,
the
what
puck
cracked me
wasn't
up
mentioned till the very end. It was like it was added like the day before they like decided to release this, because they didn't really integrate it into the.
Well, okay, here it is.
Here, right?
Because this is Apple's thing.
Yeah, here we go. The cob. Yeah.
Anytime Apple comes out with a new product at WWDC, you know, Steve Jobs or now Tim Cook, he comes out and, you know, they have the program. He's like, thank you for coming here and, you know, all this stuff. And then he'll look and say, but there's one more thing. And they tried to do that with this.
Right.
And
they did. Yeah.
You know, it didn't have the same punch because they didn't show us anything. They just had this.
It was too late.
It
was too late on.
Yeah. Well, they have, you know, it's this Arial font, this blue Arial font. Like, I care about it. You know, look at Pimax Dream Air, right? That's, you know, that has a,
the gradient going
a brand.
Across it, right?
That's a brand identity.
Yeah.
When you see that, you're like, okay, cool.
Definitely.
And then Cobb is just like, they just typed it with Times New Romans. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But
did they even show the puck?
No.
Or just probably
I'll let it play
did?
out, and you can explain it.
And a battery. With it, you can use the Dream Air freely in more scenarios. For instance, to stream movies or light applications from this device. Clip it on your belt or put it on a table and enter VR without a PC. That's it. Thank you.
Right. That's it. That's
so
it.
Basically
very light on details.
Computing puck.
It's got to have a battery though, too, right?
It did. She said it. She said it is a computer and a battery.
Yeah.
So
battery,
you know,
that makes sense. Yeah.
What does that mean? How long does the battery last? I think that's the future,
really. I think we're going to see more headsets moving that way. Even the CTO at Meta said they're developing one right for 2026. I think comes out with the puck, right?
If you can give me
offloading some of that weight off your head, this is essentially what they're trying to do to get to that lighter form factor, right? Yeah.
If you can give me a headset the size of the big screen beyond with a puck that maybe is the size of, like, I could go as far as the size of an old Walkman. Now that's going to date me and you a little bit. But I could handle something about the size of a Walkman and the form factor of a Beyond.
I'm more into like first gen Apple iPod here. Would be more my form factor.
Well, obviously, I just want another phone.
Big. Those are so bricks, right?
I just want my phone.
Right? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But
another phone size puck.
We're not there yet. So I'm saying, like, I could go like first gen. I could go as big as a Walkman, but I'm talking full maybe even like I'm talking an ARM-based chip. I'm talking M1, M2, M3.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's that big, it's packing some heat. Pause.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's the way to go. And
I wouldn't be surprised if Deckard might be working, like coming out with a chip. Not a chip, a puck, similar for their.
They're apparently coming out with a console.
Here.
Rumor has it.
You think they're still doing that? The console
that's what the
headset?
leaks are pointing to. Not specifically for the headset.
I thought they had dropped that.
But
right, yeah, to help with this like Steam Deck too, right?
Yeah. So I think okay, we can go ahead and
gaming on your TVs.
Jump into the last segment, which is CES, Consumer Electronics Show 2025, happening in January.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last year we had some cool shit come out. One of my favorite things, and this is one of the ones that this is going to be on my wish list. So we're going to outline our wish lists of what we want to see at CES 2025 in terms of VR. So we'll go back and forth. My number one is I just lost my train of thought. No, okay.
Is it not Deckard? That's my number one.
What I think we might see at CES is Steam come out with, or Valve come out with preview of the Deckard, preview of the console, preview of that new controller they were talking about. That that's it in the firmware.
The Roy.
I think we are getting like a Valve.
Oh no, the new Steam controller.
Yeah, I think we're getting a Valve ecosystem reveal.
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
so it wouldn't surprise me.
Clearly gone that route.
Yeah,
the ecosystem, right?
Well, and it's if they were just doing a headset. In my personal opinion, I feel like we would at least have heard about it already or like seen it. You know what I mean? Because I know, we always joke about Valve time, this, that, and the third, but it's.
I think a new headset's coming, but I think more than a new headset's coming. It's going to be a big year for Valve. I think next year.
I as well. I do. I think that as well.
Yeah. It's an anniversary for them, right?
It'd be the best time.
The Index is past its prime now, right? And we got all these other new headsets coming to the market, right?
But what's crazy is people still use the Index.
It's dropping though. You know what I mean? It is. It's dropping on usage on Steam. It's not there, but it is. Right, and I think as we get all these new headsets hitting the market too, that's just going to keep dropping, right?
For sure,
it's the trend, right?
But it's just a testament to how well the headset was.
Or like how well 10 years over, right? I mean, yeah, it's still a go-to for sure, right? Yeah.
And what a time to come out with an ecosystem. I think that's why a lot of people are excited
for their next one. Right? Yeah, absolutely. Because Android's coming out with their own ecosystem for the standalone side, right? I could see some integration too for when
possibly
Android works on PC VR or something, right?
And that new Xbox Steam machine thing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did see something about that as well.
Yeah, I seen it and I didn't quite understand what was happening with it, and so I just kind of left it alone. But that's an interesting piece of hardware. It had a dedicated Steam button, so it could run Steam OS.
Yeah.
But there was another version apparently that didn't have it. So
interesting.
Who knows, man? Who knows? But
right.
CES 2025, my number one is to see the 240 FOV lens stack be utilized. That's my number one. There was a 240 degree FOV lens or optical stack, and the size was
that?
It was honestly big screen beyond size just for the lenses. Now, if you could give me that with like a little bit more for, you know, cooling and shit like that, base station tracking, I'd do a backflip. And I don't know how to do those. But having that wide FOV in a small form factor, like that's the dream, right?
Right, yeah. That would be very nice.
I don't remember who bought them. Somebody bought them at last year's CES. They bought them. I believe they bought them on the floor. And we haven't seen shit since. So somebody has to be doing something with it. That's a super wide FOV because it had 2 optical stacks put together. It basically had 4 lenses, and they just smushed them together. And they had some, you know, algorithmic stuff for the video panels to, you know, make it look like one thing. So that is I would imagine a huge headache to get around. But that's what I want to see. That's my number one.
I'd like to see some new generation trackers come out, kind of like those X caps. I don't know if they have a booth at CES, but I'd like to see them there and potentially, you know, some others entering the market with the inside out tracking and the combination of the inside out and the IMU. I think, you know, that's where we're heading for tracking. My base stations are aging. I'm down to 2. I don't want to buy any more, you know. I don't want to buy any more of the old trackers, right?
And it's
I'd
upsetting.
like to save my money for new ones.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to not use base stations now, but it's like,
yeah.
What do I do with these?
Right, yeah, I got them with the.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I bought the Diver X gloves.
Yeah, I can.
They use base station as well.
The Diver X gloves would be. That's true.
So like for me, I'm kind of stuck.
Right.
I'm stuck in base station land.
Especially with the Diver X's you've committed, right? You've extended your commitment for a little while.
Full sent, yeah.
Especially you just bought trackers again too, right?
Yeah. So I don't know.
You're in it.
Now trackers definitely were my second. I think
that's that's one of those secondary things of the market, right? I think the headsets have to like keep growing to get people into the market, right? And then they're going to want to be more immersed, right? Hopefully, and that's when you'll get more accessories, right?
Yeah, because I was actually earlier because I don't have my elbows on right now, and then I was moving and I was like, oh, like after I had them on, it feels weird not to have them on now. Because like my arms don't move.
Coming in here without trackers now feels very strange, right?
Oh, brother, yeah. If I'm in standalone, it's torched.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Absolutely not the same.
Yeah. And that, I mean that just comes down to getting people in headsets. And how do you do that? You know what I mean? That's really where we're at. Because once you get it, like, I feel like
I think we're getting there, lowering that form factor. Yeah, right, with these new headsets going out.
Yeah, because even the Quest 3 comparatively is a pretty nice and balanced headset, especially with the Bobo head strap. The stock strap is a fucking nightmare, which is unfortunate because it's like, oh, I have to buy, like somebody that doesn't know that's jumping in for the first time, they think, oh, I'm just gonna buy the headset from Meta.
It's gonna be a bit uncomfortable with the actual strap that comes with it.
Yeah, and those Meta head straps, they're okay, I guess, but they're just too expensive. They're just too expensive.
They're too much,
for no reason. So
speaking of Bobo's coming out with an E3 now, I see, which is like one of the first made for Meta versions.
They partnered with them, right?
Products.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Good for them too. I mean, that's genuinely awesome. And that also kind of combats what I was just saying. Because if they advertise those on the Meta website, that's that problem of being uncomfortable in the headset is solved.
Right. I think that's that was definitely part of like Meta's made for Meta program that they are releasing, right? Is to allow for more of those, because Meta doesn't care about making accessories, right? They're not in it for that.
No, and you can tell because they charge way too much for them.
You can tell, yeah. Right, exactly, yeah. They charge too much. They're not that good. That's not what they focus on, right?
Yeah.
Focus on the headsets and just keep pumping those things out, and we can let the market handle the accessories.
Let everyone else handle the accessories. Everybody, they've been doing it for a while. Let them keep doing it.
Yep.
But yeah, so thirdly on the list, I'm gonna go with some form of haptic. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to put this on the dock. So I seen, and this is what I would want in a consumer form. There was this guy that knows about he's like a robotic engineer, I think, and then another guy that worked with, he's like the world leading neurologic nerve study. Like that's all he does. He does nerve studies and he works with amputees and getting like feeling of like the hand to go to the brain. So he works with that nerve connection process.
Right.
I'll link the video in the description.
Right. Yeah, that was exciting stuff,
dude.
Next level immersion.
My mind ran.
Technology.
So basically, it sits on your hand. It has these things that sit on each finger, and it will process whatever's going on in the headset. It will not. I feel like hijack is a kind of a scary term. It's not. You know what I mean? But
it's not quite hijack. Works with.
Exactly. Yeah. So they send the electrical pulses straight through your nerves to your brain.
Synapses.
Yeah. So it basically sends the information that it's seeing, and it feels like you're actually touching it, which was an insane concept because you can apply that to anywhere. You can apply that to your feet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it could simulate like rainfall.
Yeah.
Brother. But that is what I want to see. I want to see some form of like haptic or immersive feeling technology. I think that's the next step in immersion. Immersion.
I forget the name of the company that's doing it, but they have that it's like this band that works with VR as well. It's a neuro band, right? That you wear over your head.
No, yep. If you wouldn't have asked me, I probably could have known it.
Well,
yeah,
right. That's
what is it? BCI, brain computer interface. I don't remember what company it was, but I remember.
I've seen that being advertised to work product, with VR, which is cool. Yeah,
we're getting closer and closer to Sword Art Online, and I'm all here for it. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm here for it as well. Yep. Absolutely.
Anything left for CES? Any like curveballs?
Some new Meta news would be, and they're always they usually like to present some of their stuff there, the new lenses, right, that they're working on, right?
Oh yeah, the ones that focus, right?
Yes, yeah.
Varifocal?
The varifocus lens, varifocal lenses, to help with the divergence accommodation conflict. Hurts your eyes after being in VR for a while.
And it also makes you kind of sick. So like that's another piece of friction taken away, which could get people more headsets.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would be dope.
I'd like to hear some more news. Yeah, from them, what they've been working on in their research department. It's always good, right?
For sure. And sadly, it's Bradley. He's going to CES, so we know we're going to get some information. And if Valve is there,
for sure,
Brad's going to be there.
Right? Yeah.
So
no, I think we're going to get some Valve news. I think we're finally going to get that Valve news we've been wanting.
Dude, we've been hitting copium for months.
Months.
Oh, it's been rough.
But it always seems to pick up with the leaks before an announcement, right? And I feel like we've kind of been doing that when, with Sadly and Bradley. Sadly's been finding, right?
Yeah, it's been some pretty significant finds in the in the directories.
The data mining.
Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully, because I mean, the last time we had like some pretty substantial stuff in the directories was right before MetaConnect, when we got the link, the Steam link.
Right. Yeah. Steam link. Yeah.
So
yeah.
whether or not we get Deckard news or not, I think bare minimum we're getting some Steam ecosystem news.
I even saw something they're working on a new game too. Steam is.
We love that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Valve's working on Deadlock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
I think it's another VR game. I think I remember saying.
Oh, if it's another VR game,
which would kind of would go along with the release of a new headset, right? Because when the Index came out, they promised 3 games, but they only delivered on 1, right?
Well, Half-Life Alyx,
right? Yeah, Half-Life Alyx, and then like 2 demos. That don't really count those as full games, right?
Nah.
But they were supposed to be 3 full games. But they're supposedly in the works with another one.
It's gonna be
Half-Life
Alyx
is one of my favorites by far. Yeah.
What is?
Half-Life Alyx.
Oh yeah,
great VR game. Amazing.
I see. It's the our North Star in a sense. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I want, as much as I want to develop like a VR game, I would want to do it like Half-Life Alyx. You know what I mean? Like I don't want. I always wanted to I want to make a fighting game. Like that's just my life's dream, is to make a fighting game because I love fighting games. But in terms of VR, I want to make an experience like Half-Life Alyx. Like I want to make something where when you're in it, like you have like a visceral feeling about being in the game. So I don't know, and I don't know how to make that happen. I don't quite know how to make that happen. I mean, it just straight up crashed.
It did seem that way.
Yeah.
You were here 1 second, gone the next.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's the
house of cards of VR these days.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's CES. I can't wait. Obviously, we'll have another podcast covering all the things that all things fun VR and CES. But
and hopefully some Deckard news.
Oh yes.
We'll cover next time.
That would be. There would be nothing more exciting than to cover Deckard. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching again. If you've watched this long, I mean, go ahead and give us a sub.
Have a happy holidays.
Click the sub button. Like the video. Give us a comment. Tell us what you want to see at CES 2025. And for me and my buddy Jay, we out this bitch. Sir.
Peace.